Okay, what's going on, guys? Gast here with Sagemaster.
Hey.
And we're going to do a bit of a review analysis, and we already saw this video like twice, but I felt like giving my thoughts, and I felt that Sages could give his own input as well, because he's much more experienced in Heroes than I am. But it's Sacred Stones, second favorite game, tied for second with Gaiden. And of course, Echoes is the first of the franchise, so I wanted to give my take on it, and a bit of things that I observed as well. So we're just gonna get started on the video. There's no audio because I don't want to get copyrighted, of course.
Alrighty, let's see.
Yeah, so Amelia is the first, and I found Amelia to be like, I think if Sacred Stones would ever have a banner, Amelia would be in the game, just because it's Amelia and she's like a lolly.
Of course, and she's wearing a mini skirt while having decked out in all this armor.
Yeah.
You know.
So I found this kit to be really, really like, she is very, in fact, this entire sort of banner is really heavy on defense. Like, you have the slaying axe, which I feel like she's just a way better Sheena. Like, she just comes off as a way better Sheena. Maybe even not way better, because like she has a slaying axe plus, she has sacred cowl, which is not even adjacent. So I guess that's different. And Earth Boost, which makes me assume that she's going to be quite stocky because she'll need to have the HP to use that.
Yeah, I made mention that her health was rather low in this video, but
yeah, it was 38. But I don't think everyone's at level 40.
Leveled.
Yeah,
they're like level 30ish, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
I think she'll be best if she actually has the HP to boot, which makes me kind of skeptical because it's Amelia and she's like historically fucking terrible at being a general. And that's going to piss off a lot of people, but I'm not going to get into an Amelia fight right now.
A lot of people were upset about her being included in the comments. God.
Well, I mean,
they're like anyone else but her.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think she's just had a bad rep because she was associated with being like really shitty, but as a character, she's really good. She has great supports. Now, obviously, the most interesting thing about her is Armor March. If unit has an adjacent armored ally at start of turn, unit and any such allies can move one extra space. So it doesn't stack, but it basically, from what I'm understanding, it's like a honed movement exclusively for armors is what it is. Yeah.
So no longer are they bound to one square; they can go two.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But that means you're rolling with a team with two armors. If you want to make. If you're doing like an armor emblem, then Amelia is like your girl. You want Amelia on your team, or you want to, or if her, I don't know, her skills don't really seem that impressive to me. Like, go ahead.
I feel like the only real thing that like really stands out is, of course, her her C skill there, Armor March.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything else is just kind of like, oh, so it's this, but kind of slightly better.
Yeah, it's like,
all right.
It's like Sheena except with Armor March.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I'm kind of wary of boost skills because it's just like, I feel like it has a really finite amount of time before it really becomes like an arbitrary, like it actually has no use. Like when it goes down the line, like if you're like Zephiel, who has like base 50 million HP, then a boost would really work with him. In fact, I feel like Zephiel with just this kit minus Sacred Cowl would just be like insane.
Yeah, he could probably rock Earth Boost pretty well, or even Armor March. It's just, I mean, we don't know her full HP just yet. She could be up there. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I suppose.
But
I just makes me think she isn't. Like,
yeah,
based on the pattern of like revealed units, their skill set, and like themselves in the actual game, I feel like Amelia is just going to be like not good, but that's just my thoughts. You know, she might not be that good.
Yeah, I have a strange feeling she may only be good for, just being fodder because Armor March and making an armor emblem team around that.
Yeah. She certainly has a niche. She certainly has a niche in terms of
interesting fact about her as well. She is the first armored unit to actually be added post the launch of the game. All the other units that were in there were already in the game data. She's actually the first armored unit we've gotten in a actual new banner.
Yeah. And of course she has axes, which for the sake of diversity makes sense for the banner, but like she only gets axes if she goes through like the night line. which I found was kind of weird. It was a weird addition to have, and I was just like, all right, man, do your thing.
I was about to say, doesn't she wield lances normally? I could have sworn.
Yeah, she's a recruit, but they were looking for diversity here. So I suppose that's fair enough. She decimates this lance fighter. Now,
oh no!
Seth,
oh god!
Yeah, he.
I hate. He got screwed.
Yeah. So Ruby Sword Plus is nothing special. Swap is. Yeah. You can find a swap from anywhere. I don't really know how I feel about Fortress Defense as a skill whatsoever. I mean, I like the +5, but like, I don't want to get nerfed. I don't want my attack to get nerfed. Like every time I see a Lucas, I'm like, every time I see Lucas anywhere, I'm just like, fucking Lucas. What a joke. He has Fortress Defense.
Oddly enough, Lucas can do really great stuff with Fortress Defense and Bonfire. It's just what's worse is that they give him a seal attack and defense when right now the main focus of this game pretty much is just one hit kill. If your units can't one hit kill one of the other units out there, you're gonna have problems. You know, that kind of deal.
I think as like a seal sort of vein of a skill, then attack and defense is probably the best one so far. Like this is just fucking insane. Like after combat, foe suffers attack and defense -5. Like the solo seal defense and attack or any seal is -7 at 3. But,
yeah, 3.
But still, like 5 is plenty, and it's both, which is just crazy. Like it's you basically like severely gimping the other character.
I mean, if they don't die, they're going to be taking a lot more damage, and they're going to be dealing a lot less. So yeah. I mean, it's nice. I'm really worried about him stat wise because this whole skill setup. Ruby Sword is just a kick to the teeth in a sense, because I know a lot of people really wanted Seth like really badly.
Yeah. Interesting how he's a silver knight but has a ruby sword.
Yeah, where's the silver sword?
Or the silver lance for that matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, personally, I think it would have been. Is there many acts? No, there's Sheena, and that's it. So I guess you could. I mean, you could. I guess there's no harm in like making Seth use lances and Amelia use swords because armors. I mean, a sword armor was. Like the first sword armor you can get in the West was in Sacred Stones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
yeah,
that's what it is. Heroes we have like we have Drog, who is just kind of there.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like, to me, I just think threatens are just better than seals.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're in the C slot, they're not really bothering. I feel like B. There's so much more. Better than
there's
B
a lot
skill.
of better skills in B. Just
in fact, it's kind of just in just heroes in general. It's weird how seal attack or seal anything is a B skill instead of a C skill. But
it's just so weird. I don't understand it. But one thing I've learned about this is that Seth right now, as we see him, might look terrible or at least not look that great. But his stats could be pretty nice and just require some skill inheritance.
Yeah, he's probably going to be fucking insane. I'm not going to lie. I think he's going to be crazy good.
Here's open.
Yeah. I love Innis. I'm so stoked to see Innis in the game.
Innis is going to be... I mean, I made a joke about his weapon, and I said, oh, God, not that effect, but,
Yeah, it's like, it's as you said, it's an owl. He needs his friend around him.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on how you kind of end up playing with Innis, if you like using owl tones or if you like turtling. I don't know if it really lends that well. I mean, as a weapon in itself, it's still really good. Like it's still 14 might. It's still a bow, but it's
really
like,
sure that's a legendary bow. So it's gonna be.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So it has the additional might and then that additional effect of owl tones. The one thing that bows don't have though is a blade equivalent. So it's not a bad thing, It's not bad to get an additional buff just by having your allies around. But
yeah,
I think
it kind of works. I think it kind of works with his kit though, because he has Fortress Res, which boosts his res by 5. He has Iceberg, which with Fortress Res makes a lot. We talked about this with Lucas and Bonfire. This is basically the same thing. And if you're using. Yeah, and if you're using sort of him to like frontline your team, or not really frontline, but like seg him in the back. At least having him like one next to like at least one unit is just gonna make him like really beefy.
Yeah, it'll benefit him a lot.
And of course, you mentioned too cancel affinity. I found it kind of peculiar to have a cancel affinity with a bow user, but then you were like, it kills ravens, and I was like, oh, you know what? It probably is. He probably is like. He is like a mage destroyer. He wrecks mages.
That's the sole reason that's there. It's just to make those people who invested in Raven Tomes even less effective now.
Yeah, it's a kick. It's a punch in the gut for them because you literally have an archer who's just dedicated to just fucking your life apart.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, resistance and then that, and it's just like, oh, great.
Yeah.
So, but I brought Robin for nothing.
Yeah, but it just seems like such a niche thing.
Yeah.
Like a bow user with cancel affinity is like you're dealing with like 3 units to possibly deal like Cecilia, Robin, and like who else?
I'm trying to think of
who has Roar Raven.
I forgot.
Like Tharia, I think Tharia.
Tharia's blade.
Oh yeah.
God dang it! I was thinking it was either Henry.
I think
or
it's Henry. It's Henry.
Yeah, I think it's Henry. But...
So it's like Henry who's shit. Robin, who I personally like, I never see in the arena, and Cecilia, who's like pretty popular, but like I don't think people run Raven tomes with Cecilia that much.
No, they don't. Usually they run
blade tomes instead. So it's like super niche to have cancel affinity on an archer, or just as for a bow user, it is. But yeah,
it's just such an.
I just think he'd do better with something else. I do like the combination of Fortress Res and Iceberg, and I feel like he's gonna have crazy might anyway, and 14 might.
Yeah, that's
like you better hope you get it. You better hope you roll a 5-star, like down the line, because if you get like a 4-star Innis, like after the banner, you're just like fuck this guy.
I have a strong feeling that Innis is only gonna be a 5-star after this. Just that sneaking suspicion. Because usually when they give legendary weapons to characters, they're strictly only 5 stars, you know. But who knows? I don't understand their vendetta against Raven Tomes at all. Good God.
Yeah, so that's Innis. I'm excited to see him. I really want to use that combo between Fortress Res and Iceberg. I think it's going to be so dope. His art's amazing. The Ninhogg looks really cool. And then there's Tana. The Frelian Princess.
Now this
has really great art. I fucking love her.
Yeah, art. I love her art too. It's amazing. I also think she's probably going to be, at least if this is how it's gonna. I think she's gonna be the best flyer. Yeah, she's gonna be one of the best flyers possibly. I mean, that's
16 might lance, crazy good. She gets +7 defense in whatever she does. Basically, like +7 defense wouldn't matter if you were fighting an archer. +7 defense won't matter if you're a Pegasus Knight, because usually you have good res anyway, at least if you're a female, in my understanding. So she basically gets +7 defense in anything she does, which is just amazing. She has Moonbow, which is of course really good. Speed and defense too, which is a pretty solid ace in terms of these sort of like the boosting ace skills.
Yeah,
speed and defense +2 is pretty solid. It's decent.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't roll with it. I think it's kind of a waste. And Guidance 3 is something.
Oh God.
I think that's amazing. Like it's even better than what Amelia has. Like, because
I know I've noticed that this one seems to be focused around, defensive and mobility in some ways.
Like, it is. That's what I thought in my first mock-up of this video, which was like, oh, this is a very defensive and armor rewarding thing. But I think Guidance 3 is just better than whatever Amelia has, because if you're an armor, then you can technically move 3 spaces.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a 2-tile radius and you want to get to in front of Amelia, you can do that.
Pretty much. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, she can basically move her team with her, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. So I can imagine her being like give her like reposition or something. She is literally like a tour guide. She goes everywhere. I think this is my favorite build, honestly. Guidance 3 just seems so much fun to use and fuck around with.
Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting ability, like passive, just because it's, you'll be like going into, I don't want to see this with any enemy units in Tempest Trials, but I feel it's going to happen, where I'm just, gunning along and all of a sudden all of the team's there with me, and it's just like, oh boy, that's cool.
Yeah, I think Guidance might be like one of the best C slot skills now.
It's hard to say, but yeah, it's looking pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's looking real nice. I'm really excited to. I really want to pull her. I think her art's amazing, by the way. Like, her art's the best one. I think she's just the best character in this line. I think she has the most interesting kit.
Yeah, she is the most interesting, and like that weapon is just solid. That, you know, she's going to be the tankiest flyer out there right now.
Yeah,
you can attach other abilities to that. Get like, I'd say like 13, 14. I forget if it's 12 or 14 defense in total, but yeah, just by initiating attacks and things like that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, you know, I knew that there was going to be a banner.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people kind of got the feeling that there was going to be a Sacred Stones banner after Valter came. I didn't expect these characters. But then I kind of realized that they're sort of basing this off Erica's route. Like, Tana and Innes and Seth are like way more catered towards Erica than to Ephraim, and then Amelia is just there because, I mean, she can be in both routes, but she's Amelia, and like, did you really expect her not to be in the game? Like, Amelia's just thrown in. I feel like she was just thrown in there because she's Amelia, and that's it.
but where's Joshua and where's Luke? That's where people are wanting.
Yeah, I don't think Luke's going to be in this game anymore because she was early game. I think if they do a second banner, it's going to be more towards like the later game stuff.
Like so Ephraim's, probably.
I'm thinking Joshua, Rachel, and then either Dusel for axes or like Mir.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Someone when I did that video on this banner, someone really wanted Dusel so bad.
No, I've been wanting Dusel forever. But if they're like, see with this banner, it feels like they're really trying to shoot for diversity, which kind of comes off, and to me it came off kind of bizarre because like they made Amelia use axes and Seth use swords just for the sake of diversity. So if they're trying to roll with that, then I think if we're applying the same sort of logic, like we're applying like important characters who are like iconic for their own country, and then if we switch that over to Ephraim's side, we have Rachel, who is basically the princess of Roston, so she could use staffs, which is different than anyone here, of course. And then there's Joshua, who's the prince of Johanna, which would be swords, like infantry swords, which isn't in this group.
Sure he kind of joined as a Myrmidon, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he joined as a mercenary. And then there's Mir, who would be Dragonstones, and a red Dragonstone at that, because I'm pretty sure Red Dragonstone would be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I don't even think there is one, is there?
No, there are. Tiki's in there.
Oh, right, yeah, so there's only one. But yeah, so like a red Dragonstone and Mir, and then who's representing like the Darkling Woods and like the sort of the southeast sort of area of Magvel. And then there's Dusel, who would be Grotto exclusively, who is a very important character in his own in the story, who would be an axe armor. An axe cavalier. So those are my predictions. A diverse group of like important characters to the world building aspect of Sacred Stones, and that's who I'm predicting to be in the game. I thought Null would maybe be in the game, but I don't think he has a place at all. He would be like Ray, but Ray's kind of Ray's
the
weird.
The one thing I've learned with heroes is that I can never be too sure if a certain character will come to the game or if they'll be represented as they were in the game at all. Because we've had several characters who have come into this game and they've been like total, I wouldn't say fabrications of what they once were, but like we had Lucius, who was a light monk and things like that, who used light tomes, and suddenly he's a staff wielder and things like that.
Yeah.
So any of those sounds great. I would like to see a cavalier who is strongly based in axes and is not just certainly tied to just dealing with blue units, maybe being a bit stronger out there and ready to rampage a bit.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new. I'm Gas, and with me was, of course,
Sagemaster 15.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Deuces.